Hey guys, layout update time again. And I know we're running a train over here because I figure I'd just run the hauler around the layout here. He's taking all these cars out of the yard. I had him get all hooked up and everything the other night. We had all these cars in the yard. I think I'm gonna have to buy some more cars because literally this is like all of my cars that go into staging. And but I figured this isn't going to be a ops video. This is going to be the last part here, I hope, of our little construction project right here. Our drywall paste is fairly dry. You can see it's kind of still a little pink there towards the center, so it's still got to dry up a little bit. And but we can at least start kind of sanding this stuff over here, and I figure I'm just going to throw paint on it because once you throw paint on it, it gets wet again anyway. And yeah, so I figure what the heck, I'll just do that right now and we'll call this done, I think. And while we're doing it, we'll just have the hauler running around because who wants to go to a model train video and end up watching no trains, just an old guy sanding drywall. So we'll have this guy running in the background right here. Ooh, looking pretty. I don't have the controller in hand here, otherwise I'd honk for the horses. All right, let's back up over here. We'll go over what I'm going to be using here. I just got a little sanding block right here. We're going to do some sanding around the edges and stuff like that. And then I've just got some El Cheapo black acrylic paint and white acrylic paint. The stuff you get at like Michael's or whatever, your little hobby craft store. Got a little bucket right here with a paintbrush. We're going to mix that up with a little bit of water, just a touch of glue. And once we get everything sanded, we will we'll start painting over here. So I'm just going to start over here. I won't show you all of the sanding right here because, you know, how boring is that? But you can see we've got all these rough edges and stuff like that. We're just going to kind of blend them in a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit careful, not really sand over here because it's still a little moist. Like I said, it's just slightly pink right here. I can feel to the touch it's still a little damp. So I'm not going to go hardcore right there. We'll just get off the top of the rails here. Get the edges nice and smooth. And then once we actually paint, you can see I've got kind of different patches and stuff like that. That was just paint. Where I mixed up different sort of concoctions of paint and just slathered it down sort of in little patches and things like that. And, you know, it comes out looking pretty decent. So we got a few cracks over here. We'll, you know, fine tune all of this as we go. Kind of slathered up a little bit over here on the other end here. And like I said in the prior video, you know, you can just kind of go with your gut here and you don't have to be super delicate or anything like that. Because you don't have to worry about screwing it up. I mean, in reality, it's just some drywall paste on a model train layout in a guy's garage, right? So you can always just rip it out if you screw something up that bad and then start over. Alright, so I'm just going to keep on going along the edges over here. I'll get everything sanded, and I think the next thing we'll do is to mix up our paint, and I'll show you how it looks once we start painting it. Alright, so I went ahead and I sanded all the edges right over here, either side of the plastering. I didn't do a lot of sanding in the center here, like I said, because it's still just a little damp and whatnot. So I'll come back and sand that as needed and then just repaint if it doesn't look, you know, perfect. But, you know, you get little, it's kind of hard to see here on camera, but you get little, you know, imperfections and things like that. And once you paint them over, listen, it looks like the real thing. You know, if you ever look at a parking lot, there's patches and there's all sorts of cracks and weird things going on like that. So let's get to mixing paint over here. So like I said, all I am using is some cheap acrylic paint there. And black and white is going to make a couple of different shades of gray. Now, just so you know, be careful with the black because a little bit goes a long way. So, and we ain't got a big giant patch over here. I'm gonna squeeze out a good portion of white, and I'm literally gonna drop in a drop of black here. That's it. That's actually what it looks like right there. And then we're gonna mix it up and we'll see what we come up with. Now, just a little bit of water just to kind of thin it down a tad. I do these in little batches. And I like to use a little bit of white glue into the mix. This is just white glue, matte medium. If I can get it dumping out over here. Tends to kind of act as a sealant, you know what I mean? Just get a little mix in there. I'm gonna go ahead and stir it up here and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I ended up putting in 2 more drops of black. So you get kind of, like I said, you start slow with the black and just, you can see what it looks like in the bucket relative to the actual pavement over here. So we're just gonna, I think that looks good, close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect again. You know, different patches of asphalt look different. And I'm gonna go ahead and start painting and we'll see what it looks like. Now I'm gonna try to keep it sort of like the track was laid in here, you know, after the fact. And so, you know, I'm not just gonna slather it all around. I'm gonna try to keep it sort of like, squared off is what I'm trying to get at here, you know? Like they came in here and this was a patch job that happened right across there. Get all the little white bits and stuff out. I'll keep it over here on the camera. Now again, I'm painting the top of the rails and everything like that. It's just acrylic paint. So just a little bit of a little paint on the top, just a little cleaning up afterwards, and it'll look nice. Now again, since this is water-based paint on plaster here, or spackle, it's going to start kind of turning pinkish right here again as it gets wet, but once it dries out, that pink kind of hue will disappear a little bit. And again, I'm just going to run this like it was patched right here, just so I get all of the plaster going over here, or covered up. And get a little spot right there where they came out here, kind of came out this way. All those little variations just kind of add character to the surface here. I think there's a little patch over here that got dropped way out here. That's okay. They came out there and patched it. I feel like Bob Ross over here, just making happy little pavements. Happy little mistakes right there. And get everything out of the way. I think I'll have just enough over here to get everything painted. Go ahead and move the camera over here without getting too much paint on it. I guess I'll have to hold it here. Now again, I'm going to come back in here and clean out the rails on the inside. Somebody had a really good comment, and it's actually what I was going to do, I just forgot to, was take an old rail car, you know, and just run it up and down the track, just to kind of indent the inside of the rail plaster. So yeah, I actually was going to do that and I forgot to, and somebody mentioned it. So we got a happy little accident over here. We'll just patch that one up in a little square. All right, we'll come down here to the end, finish this up. You see Benjamin out there making a little racket. We'll get to the end over here and just cover all that up. We're almost done over here. And I'll have to come back and just kind of touch up the top of the fascia right here because I kind of got a little bit of plaster on it here, if we have to. We're almost done. Try to hold this out so you can actually see something. And I still do have the other locomotive on. The track is actually powered up. The hauler, I just kind of silenced him and stopped him over there on the layout because I needed to get the lift up bridge up and down. There we go. We'll just make a nice smooth line right there, and I think that's pretty much it. What do you think? All we got to do is just, like I said, clean up the extra plaster around the switch right there, and then just the inside rail right here. I'm going to wait until, again, it's a little bit more dry, and just going to get these little bits and pieces right here where the paint didn't quite get in, but that's okay. Looking good. All right. You can barely see the track because the rails are just painted, but yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So that's going to conclude the construction right here. I'll touch base on it once I actually get once the paint's dry and the plaster's completely dry, and we get the inside of the rail just kind of indented a little bit in the next video. Otherwise, let me grab the controller over here and we'll watch our train running over here. Ooh, he's blocking traffic. Hey, what's a layout update without a train running, huh? Alright guys, I hope you enjoy that finishing up of the new track installation here, and a little bit of train running too. Little mini ops here. This guy is going to be running around the layout and then out to staging. And then we'll have to kind of figure out some more cars. I got, I think, 1 or 2 cars that aren't out on the layout or in this train. So I think I need more cars, like I said earlier. Alright guys, till then, have a good one. Watch this guy run over here just a little bit. I gotta stop him because the lift up bridge is up. Ooh, the Dash 9 sounds nice. Alright guys, hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next ops video. Take care.